Okay. Welcome everyone to the monthly check-in. This time we're a bit late. It's the end of June. Today I'm with a special co-host again. This time it's with Amir Bouganem. So welcome Amir. Maybe a quick introduction about yourself.
Thank you so much, Muhammad. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. I'm Amir Bouganem, a backend engineer at Orion. I work on scaling pipelines in general and several other things. I work in the cloud. I also work on mobile applications. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Awesome. Okay, so a little bit of what to expect during this session. So similar to the previous one and the ones that we always host, this is more of a community check-in. So we're expecting you guys to have questions towards the co-host or towards any discussion that you'd like to have. We're gonna focus primarily this time on topics like backend development, a bit of DevOps, and a bit of data engineering as well. So me and Amir, we're gonna be asking each other questions, and if you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to just either say them out loud, open your mic, talk about it, or just type in the question in the comments, and we'll make sure to answer it. Sounds good?
All right, let's get started. So,
Well,
first question.
first question.
محضر لك question حلو على قلبي
Okay,
day.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're a data engineer, right?
Yeah.
So although you engineer these data pipelines, there are no breakthroughs in the world of data without data scientists in the
Well,
background working. So why exactly do we need you?
well, okay. Why do we need data engineers? Okay, so before I answer your question directly, first we need to understand, okay, what do data engineers do? So this is gonna be like a small introduction about what we do, how we achieve our goals, and why do data science need us in order to fulfill the dreams like ChatGPT and stuff like that. So first, data engineering is the idea of like transforming data. That's it. That's the whole idea of data engineering. Why do we need to transform data? Here's a small like analogy in order to make it much easier. Think of data like oil. If we want to use the oil that we extract from Earth, from uh, deep down in Earth, so we want to use it as fuel. We want to use it like there's so many different outcomes for oil after we process it. So it's like benzene, petrol, oil itself, and so many other things. We cannot use it as it is. It's so hard to be used as it is. The same way data works. If I get raw data from users or raw data from the internet or whatever, this data, sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it needs filtering, sometimes it needs a complete rework or aggregation. Sometimes there are laws that prohibit me from using certain data, and I need to aggregate it or to mask it or to do things with this data in order for it to be usable by the machine learning guys, by the data scientists team. So they cannot really do good models without having good data. They cannot. It just doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. If someone wants to do like a model for detecting cancer or whatever, they need good data. They need data with certain parameters. Let's say they think and know like this kind of parameters work if I train the data on these parameters. But how do they get these parameters? Because if I get the information directly from the patients, it's just super noisy. It doesn't have the exact parameters. I need to like normalize it. We need to put it in a pipeline, transform it, filter the wrong data, filter the stuff that doesn't work, remove every PII information, so personal identifiable information. These are illegal to store. So there's so much that needs to be done before you have a final product, before you have like the model that you want. So much in data, and not to mention that there are millions and millions of like data that needs to be processed in order to actually start training a model. That also requires engineering. Okay, so all that combined, we are like the people who engineer the machines in order to extract the oil and filter them to become something that's actually work, like consumable, something that can be consumed by the engines that are developed by like the data science team. The engines are like the models. They consume whatever data or whatever oil we provide them. That's basically it. That's how it works. Any questions about what we do as data engineers?
You explained that beautifully, by the way. I have nothing to ask.
Thank you. If there is any question, don't hesitate to ask, even if we're like mid discussion or something like that. It's totally fine. I have a question for you. Since you started the war, I'm gonna also fire back.
Yes.
Okay, so I think you use JavaScript in your daily work, correct?
I use it pretty frequently, I can say. Yeah, I love it.
You love
I
it,
use
yeah?
yeah.
Okay. For me personally, for me personally, I think it's one of the worst languages ever created. Like, no offense to anyone using JavaScript, but like, there's proof that it's really bad. That's why they created TypeScript after it. So, like, I really don't like it. So, how about you tell me the pros, or like you try to convert me to the cult of JavaScript? That works?
Uh, yeah, sure, sure. So as you may know, إذا بدنا نيجي نحكي front end side of things, we have huge developments when it comes to JavaScript frameworks. We have React, really well known, used pretty much everywhere. We have Next.js, we have Vue.js, which is really beautiful. I've worked on it in a project lately. And I can vouch for its performance and all of the advancements that it brings or offers out of the box. So I can say that JavaScript, or picking JavaScript as a language or as a framework and tying yourself to JavaScript on the front end side of things is pretty obvious choice. It's a very safe choice. And it's a very maintainable choice because it's always updated. So what better way to pair your front end stack with a backend stack that's the same language? And the reason being is why use JavaScript for the backend as well? If you can use better languages فينا إذا بدنا نوصفها بهذه الطريقة أو faster languages, more optimized languages. Well, I would say the simplest answer to this question is because you can sort of unify resource management. So I can have a package manager that manages all of my packages for both stacks. Okay, so this is really good. So if you go ahead and you want to update your libraries, they're going to get updated cross stack. So this is very nice. And the second thing is it's very helpful when it comes to logging. So we also like log, and we have a lot of stuff going on in the backend. So it's going to help you immensely to use, for example, the same library or wire up the same library that you're using on the backend side of things to your front end as well. And you wouldn't have to worry about a headache or have a hassle with how you're going to centralize your logs, so on and so forth. So I would say, yeah, the easiest answer for this, because we don't want to go too much in detail, it's one of the most justifiable things ever اللي ممكن نحن كديفلوبرز نريح حالنا منه هو انه to have a unified resource management in that sense. So yeah.
Okay. That's a decent answer. I'm not super convinced yet.
You're not convinced.
But it's decent. It's cool. I'll take it. Ali, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Hello, إن شاء الله كل شيء رواق.
All good. How are you?
Hi, all good.
My question is for Amir regarding JavaScript. I'm a bit relieved من نص الانسر اللي سمعته so far. هلا this is the regular question of a university student بس with add-ons. هلا I've been investing for a while in learning JavaScript, going for backend, Node.js and Express with TypeScript mainly. TypeScript is much better الصراحة, no offense. But the idea I want to hear it from you and people I guess in the market. So like how about the JavaScript or like the Pern stack بدل MongoDB Postgre? Is it good? I mean I'm investing around like من صف 12 بالترم انا بتعلم, so it's like 2.5 years, so تاني سنة جامعة. ف I just want to know if you think I should migrate toward something like .NET while I keep investing in it, especially in Lebanon. I'm talking on site in Lebanon.
I would say focus on one stack. انه انت اليوم لما تيجي بتطلع بالجوب ماركت ريكوايرمنتس فور اكزامبل they're not gonna go ahead and ask you انه انا بدي اياك تكون شاطر دوت نت تكون شاطر بجافا سكريبت at the same time or at least it's very rare these days so you have to focus on what the requirements of the market need كمان to land a very good job or to land a job بشكل عام. And so I would say focus on a JavaScript stack, for example, if it's booming, if it's required on the market, and just focus and spend your focus there and make sure that you become proficient in that tech stack. تكون مرتاح فيها كتير، تعرف فيها كتير منيح أشياء. فهيدا الشيء رح يساعدك to better position yourself in the market, I would say. But then again, it all boils down to how you see the market's demands and requirements evolving over time. I hope that helped you يعني بس هي الفكرة إنه focus on what the market needs بالمختصر المفيد and that's gonna better your chances.
The idea and only God knows what the market needs nowadays.
It's evolving fast. I have to say it's
Yeah.
evolving fast, but it's still very easy to make the decision of when I have to إذا بدك focus on JavaScript and when I have to focus on a language that's out of scope مثلا. Yeah. You still can focus on the languages that are closely related together, used together efficiently.
To help out a bit, from my market research lately, I've seen that there's a lot of need for Node.js and JavaScript in general. And the reason boils down to that Node.js or JavaScript is being used frequently with AI development. Python is for data scientists and for data engineers, as well as SQL. While if you're creating like an app or like a product that uses LLMs, you're most likely going to use JavaScript as your main frameworks, like as your main language for your frameworks. Mostly Node.js with other stuff like Express and stuff like that, other packages. And for front end, it's definitely going to be JavaScript. So position yourself as a full stack engineer, plus the addition of learning how to do agentic work. Okay, so how to create agents using the whole stack. This will help you tremendously because like I've been seeing a lot of jobs that require full stack engineers in Lebanon, by the way, full stack engineers that have a background in AI development. Not AI development as in training models, no. AI development as using LLMs or creating agents using LLMs. Okay, so this is something to add. It helps. You don't have to go through like multiple frameworks. You can learn a bit about every framework. That helps you like overall. But to like really get like really nail a job, you have to be a specialized person in that job, in that category, in what you do. And pretty much the interviews will go super easy on you because you're specialized. You know what you're doing. You know everything about the framework. You know how to use it to create products. That's what they look for. Okay, does that help? With pleasure. Okay, anybody has any other question, anything that they'd like to discuss? Yes, Hanan.
يس هلا أنا عم تعلم الباك اند ديفلوبمنت أو بالأحرى الفول ستاك using هارفارد كورس CS50W اللي بيعلم فول ستاك ديفلوبمنت بالجافا سكريبت and بايثون specifically جانجو. أنا حضرت لهلا نص الكورس وفي إنه some projects بس كتير كبار يعني إنه بتعلم شوي وبلاقي البروجكت كتير ضخم أكبر من اللي تعلمته. فبحس في جاب كتير قوية وما عم بعرف أعمل بروجكت يعني حتى كالكوليتر ما عم بعرف أعمل. فهل البروبلم مني أو شو لازم أعمل؟
It's not specifically from you. The problem is not you specifically. The problem is more that أول شيء things take time. فخدي وقتك. Don't jump into the course. Don't jump into the project. وخلص المسارة بدك تخلصيه بيوم أو بيومين أو بجمعة. It might take way more than that, and that's totally fine. There is no problem with that. You have to like map out a little bit, you know, what is the final result of the project that you're gonna create. And هون بتجي فكرة إنه تكسير الراس أو in other words it's gonna be painful. يعني sometimes بيكون في like a certain features that you'd like to implement, but you didn't cover that in the course before. Now is the time to Google. Now is the time to ask the LLMs like ChatGPT or Claude to help you out. Now is the time to learn the actual implementation of something that you've never done before. Maybe try to find other tutorials that help you implement the first thing, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can have all the time that you need. That's one, my first point. The second thing, it doesn't have to be perfect. And the third thing is to actually go and search for what helps you implement the feature that you're looking for. This process is very important. It's hard, it's painful, and that's why it's very important. Okay, so it actually like teaches you how to actually engineer stuff, how to come up with the new things. So it's very, very, very important to have that. And that way you're not gonna get stuck in something we call tutorial hell. Tutorial hell is when you just keep watching courses, keep watching tutorials, and at some point, like, I can't do any projects. I can just learn theory, and we don't want that. We want to actually try things ourselves. Okay. A little advice that might help you, maybe, is if there's something in your head that you'd want to create, a project that you love to create, okay? Maybe it's a website, maybe it's an app, maybe it's anything. It helps motivates you much more than just finding random projects or something like that on the internet. It helps you like push because you really want to do it. And especially like universities help with that because like things are graded, so you have to actually do it. You have no other choice, so you got to do it. So maybe forcing yourself to do something will help you a lot. So that's also one thing. Amir, do you have anything to add for this?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yes, go ahead, Hanan. Go ahead.
I just want to share that I'm a first year CS student, so I just want to make sure am I يعني كتير عم جرع حالي ولا لا؟
You're doing amazing if you're already there. You're doing great. So شوي take your time. There's no race here. Okay, ما حدا عم بيسابق actually. And the more you learn, شوي, eventually you'll get what you want. Okay, and you will finish the project. So if you're finding them difficult, this is normal. هذا الطبيعي. But once you start actually finishing stuff, تكرج معك, things will become much, much, much easier. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on what Muhammad said is that هيدي المرحلة اللي نحن فيها, we're going ahead and we're searching on how to solve problems. This is going to continue on even at work. And so this is customary, and no matter how senior we get, we're always going to face new problems. And so getting used to knowing where to get answers, knowing where to find answers, having this persistence is what separates one good engineer from a great engineer, I would say. And the more you do research, the more your higher chances is of finding something that's better than what you actually have in hand. And so, like, be ready to do this frequently, and best of luck on your journey.
Thank you, Mr. Amir. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad.
It's a pleasure. Good luck. Saad actually asked a question that I really like. So what's the relationship between data engineering and data analytics? So basically, data analytics guys, they use our data. That's it. They tell us we want this certain data, we want these stuff, like they want things to be aggregated, they want certain KPIs, they want certain data to be displayed, and we do the pipelines. We get the raw data, we transform it into certain data, the ones that they want, and then they get to display them. We give them access to the data through API endpoints or like through other stuff, other means. And then they do whatever they want with the data. We don't know what they do with the data. But yeah, that's basically what they do. Now, in some companies, they do like like the data analysts and the data engineers, they put them in one role, so they have to do the pipelines themselves. But like data engineering in itself is just transforming data, while data analytics is just looking at data and deriving basically analytics out of it, or creating the dashboards that other teams might use on that data. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for your questions. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have more questions. So, hi, we're building Mazid.id, an educational SaaS for Indonesian institutions using Laravel and React to handle student data and are focusing on data engineering security. What are your top 3 priorities for securing sensitive data in the database, API communication, and role-based access control? Any gotchas with the Sanctum for multi-tenant setups?
Okay. Okay.
مالتي تننت انه هي مالتي هوستد يعني في كذا انستنس من the same app.
Yeah. Okay, so sensitive data in the database. Handling sensitive data is not always easy. You have to comply with whatever legal laws that you have, especially with PII. Usually we ask a lawyer, and I used to work with health tech, so in health data we were able to store like PII for like 60 days, and then we had to delete them. We were not allowed to see them. We were not allowed to see the data at all, of course. And the way we use the data, so how can we use the data? Of course, we remove all the PII, anything that is identifiable for certain people. We aggregated the data, and the models at the end, or whatever is gonna use the data, use the aggregated data. They didn't use like the student name, they didn't use like what room was a patient in, or, they use the aggregated data that we provided. For example, how many operations we did in this day, the average hours, like each operation, how much on average did it take time, stuff like that. So the aggregated data is the things that get used in production, while like student data itself is hard to keep. I don't know, maybe like for student systems, it's different because like you have to keep the student name, you have to keep all this stuff. They need to be secured, stored securely, and they need to you need to have a way to tell the user that they agree on their data being stored. That complies with the legal stuff. As for API communication, there's different ways of doing things. There's
it depends on
so I'm going to talk about two things. There are two things. Okay, the first one is like APIs having actual backends, and they call each other. That's like in a microservice architecture. And the second one is through streaming, through like Kafka, Kinesis data streams, a streaming service. A streaming service is basically asynchronous communication between services, so they don't have to like wait for a response or something like that. They just push the data into the PubSub queue, and then it publishes the data to every subscriber that it has. It's a bit more complicated, but overall, you can have like normal APIs. In our case, we used to use the API gateway that AWS provided, and some Lambda functions with them, so they are connected. And then basically we just connect to the database or the data lake, and we get the data, and then we send them back to the service that they needed. That's it. It was simple. All of this securely, of course, because no one without a token can access this, and the token is only based on our infrastructure, our region. We also have like VPS and security, so that no other service outside our VPS can access the APIs that we have. So that's for security. Role-based access control. For role-based access control, we had lake formation for our database, for our data lake. We had lake formation. So basically, we gave role to certain users, and they were able to access certain data, specific data. As for creating it for admins and users in the app, that's more like you have to create a system for that, maybe on the backend level. So this is also important. You can use services like Keycloak, like identity management services that also help. There are other ones as well, but Keycloak is like open source and can manage these as well. Yeah, Kafka is extremely heavy. Data analytics is never consider Kafka for now, keeping it safe. Yes, definitely. Kafka is extreme. It's resource intense, and it requires its own team of engineers just to make it work. It's extreme. It's extreme. I had like really like I had some issues with Kafka before. I fought with it a lot. On the other hand, you can use something much simpler. Amazon, they have something called SQS, and it translates to simple queue service. And it's super simple. It's like Kafka. It's not exactly like Kafka, but it kind of does a job, but it's being super simple, super simplistic. That can also work if that's something. Amir, do you want to add anything to that?
No, great. When it comes to the sanction for multi-tenant setups, so it depends. If you have the authority to host it, to host it anywhere in Asia, so you have to make sure that the data linked to that setup is also compliant and all. So yeah, that's all you need to know.
Awesome. Any other questions? Oh, Riham has a question. Can you tell us, Mohammed, more about your diverse career journey and how did you land your first data engineering role? Okay, this is quite the journey. It's quite the story. I'll make it brief so that we have time for other things. But basically, I was working at Murex for like about a year, and I thought like the experience was not what I was looking for. So briefly, I found an opportunity to work with a senior solution architect from AWS on a project that is, it's a humanitarian project. It's a charity project. I didn't get paid for it. It was basically fighting human trafficking using data engineering, using like data analytics and stuff like that. It was with a company called Stop the Traffic. They're based in the UK. They're an NGO. And there's where my data engineering journey started. I started working with this guy. I met him at a coffee shop, by the way. So it was like completely random. And he was so impressed by what I know. So he gave me a call and told me about the project if I wanted to be part of it. I surely accepted. And so I learned all my data engineering stuff during that time with this person. He was a great teacher. He still is. And after that, I started applying to data engineering jobs. And I had a referral at a company called Proximy. I did the interviews. I did very well. And after that, I got an offer as a data engineer there. So that was like my journey to data engineering. Awesome. Is there anything else? We can move on to the next question. Yeah, I think we can move on. Let's see. Okay. Amir, you know, things doesn't always work perfectly, especially in optimizing and scaling up stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me about one time that things like didn't go well, and something went down, and it unleashed hell upon you. So tell me about it. Tell us the story.
Well, it's kind of funny because the story is too simple. And it's like the following. I went ahead on the AWS platform. I accessed an S3 bucket. I thought it was a bucket used for testing data and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So what did I do? I went ahead and deleted it. And it turns out that the bucket was linked to an app hosting service command, which I didn't
Ah.
have access to at the time. So yeah, and it had some really important data on it that are used to make the actual app functional. So what I did بوقتها was after thinking for like 15 minutes, I just recreated the bucket. And thankfully, that made things work again. It was a simple mistake, but in the moment, I was freaked out. Like it was my first the بدك production issue that I did. And yeah, like it taught me a lesson. And before deleting any resource, it's very important to make sure that it's not used anywhere critical. And so this is where coordination between teams comes in as well. You have to make sure that you're up to date with everyone and coordinating everything. So yeah, it was a hard-earned lesson for sure. I'm way more careful now with the resources that I manage, especially on cloud because of permissions and stuff like that. So sometimes stuff can get out of hand. You might delete a resource, but not be able to create it again. And this is going to cause like a huge issue. And so, yeah, this is
بسيطة يا عمير بتصير. What happened to the data, by the way?
thankfully they were on another bucket. They were cloned, so just
The-
copied onto the yeah
That's why we always have our raw data
snapshots.
saved.
Yeah,
Or raw data saved as data engineers, because you never know what might happen. It's the production pipeline.
yeah,
So always like have a saved thing, the raw data, and then we call it like the bucket of truth or whatever, like the source of truth. And then we start transforming data. So let's say like the database goes down for some reason, or something got deleted after we did the pipeline or something. It's fine because we have the raw data, we have all the logic, the pipeline, so we can recreate what was lost. And the
yeah,
raw data is like always available. So yeah, it's always good to have a copy.
for sure.
Backups, guys, backups. Okay. Let's see. Any questions, or should we move forward? Maze is incredibly valuable for us, and now we're done. Okay, with pleasure. With pleasure. Thank you for the questions, and good luck on your journey.
Best of luck.
For Muhammad, in networking, we focus a lot on bandwidth and packet efficiency. And your data pipelines, what are the biggest network bottlenecks you face when moving massive data sets between clusters? Network bottlenecks, there's like, okay, so we have real-time data and we have normal pipelines. In real-time data, you do need to figure out things about networking and the amount of data that has been that is being sent directly, and especially with the devices, like how much can this device do per second or whatever. As for normal data pipelines, we don't really consider that. The reason, normal pipelines can take a few hours. It's fine. There's no hurry. So if I want to create a report once per day or day by day, I have 24 hours for the report to be done. So if the data pipeline start processing with a good processor, with good networking, with everything that's good, then it shouldn't take more than maybe 1-2 hours maximum. So we don't really have this bottleneck of network in data engineering, except if it's real time. Again, now real time is its own big thing. It's its own monster, and really, you don't like do real time a lot in like only in very specific cases, but usually we don't stream huge amounts of data in real time. We don't have this kind of pipelines unless it's needed, but it's super rare, super hard to get that. Does this answer your question, or is there something more specific you'd like to ask? Maybe we can move forward. Okay. So I have a question again for you. Amir, you're gonna get a lot of questions from me. The time it takes between deploying using CI/CD and manually large and manually like wait, that was not the question. Okay, so here's a question that's actually important. Question of the century. Monolith or microservices?
Okay.
Let's see your take. And if anyone else has a take on this, feel free to just talk about it. Let's see.
Okay, so why was microservices born? I'll start from there. It's simply because if your code base grows so huge and you have multiple teams working on it, for example, things go south. If you're working in monolith, you have a very huge code base that's inflated بالmonolith, and it gets increasingly huge to the point where it's not manageable anymore. Let alone what you have to do in terms of coordination and whatever to get things working smoothly, which is just hectic and almost impossible at large scale. So that's why microservices came about. They said, let's create this large level of modularity. We'll have our services divided in separate repositories, manage each one alone. الحياة حلوة وكل شيء تمام. The problem with that, however, is, in my opinion, it's just too much. In my opinion, microservices is a bit like it doesn't really solve or resorting to microservices shouldn't be because of code itself or the software itself. It should kind of be more like a company scale thing. So if you grow your company so much, you might want to resort to microservices, but in 90% of the cases, in my opinion, it's just too much. But I was reading the other day about a new sort of theme, and it's called modular monolith. So with modular monolith, you maintain the same benefits as monolith. So you have one deployment, single code base, everything is fast. This is the cool thing about monolith in the first place. And I have a single code base, everything is easy to manage, بس كنا عم نحكي على small scale. I deploy once, my app is live, so everything one. So what they did in modular monolith is they said we want the same benefits of monolith, but let's refactor our services in a way where everything is separated. So they created a clear separation on the level of the services. Okay, so you have your services split, they're refactored and decoupled from each other. And now, in that case, you have API separation. So you have each service has its own API. So you only call the APIs in the part of the app where you actually need that API. And if you need to update the API, you don't have to maintain a single inflated API that's hard to manage, وبيصير في conflicts between teams in general. So once they created this clear separation, modular monolith was born, فينا نقول. And its intuition is amazing. And we're reserving the same benefits we had with monolith, but we didn't overwhelm ourselves with going into microservices and having to manage repos. إذا طبش أي service, I have to search 5, 6, 10s حتى إذا عم نحكي large scale of log groups to find out where the issue went down. لا, I'm still debugging in one place and everything, but I have this clear separation. So I would go to answer your question with a modular monolith architecture 95% of the time, unless it's a very huge scale.
Yeah, that's great. So we're running out of time, and we still have a Kahoot game to do. Amir, it was amazing having you. Like, your expertise on these subjects are really important. Is there any other questions before we move on to the Kahoot game?
I actually had a question. Yeah, so you've used some cloud providers over time. Can you share like a time where one of the providers gave you a hard time? So I believe you've used GCP before, you've used AWS before. So yeah, I'd love to hear like about the time where you had this.
Well, I'll make it very, very, very brief. But like my experience with, okay, I love AWS. I've used AWS for most of my work. It's not that AWS gave me a hard time, more like something happened. So here's the story. So I was working on, and in my company, we were working on like data pipelines, we were working on a model, we were working on everything. And that was in regions in Europe, so Frankfurt and in the US. That's where our clients were residing. So we only did like the infrastructure there. Now the good thing that we did, the amazing thing that we did, is that we wrote all of our infrastructure as code. What that means is that if we want to redeploy all the things that we've done so far on the cloud provider or on other cloud providers or whatever, we can use the same infrastructure as code, the code that we wrote, and deploy it with just a single command. We can delete our environment and then we redeploy. That's it. Like super easy, super simple. So they got a client in the UAE, and we don't have a region there, and we cannot put them on the region of Europe because of compliances and data security. Yeah, like legally, it doesn't work. Okay, so we had to deploy to UAE. Okay, fine. We have AWS on UAE, so I was working on managing all the configurations and stuff that were missing or stuff that was not working. And after a week of hard work, we managed to deploy the entire infrastructure on the UAE servers. 2 months passed by, and UAE went down because of war. So all of our work was just for nothing.
No backups there. No backups there.
Oh, well, it's always backup. But like, we use AWS, like cannot deploy it somewhere else. So I think things stopped working for a while until things got back to normal. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
I never had a hard time really. I can remember one time that we really had a hard time with like the Athena connector, but that's like very specific and very technical, and I don't want to go into it. So it's not something I really want to go to right now. Let's go into the Kahoot game. We barely have time, so yeah. If you guys have any other questions, just do let us know. It's fine.
Yeah, feel
You
free
can stay.
to drop them in the chat as well. Perhaps we can get to them after the game if you have some time.
Yeah. Riham has a question for you, Amir. You can handle this one.
All right, so Amir, you're a certified cloud practitioner for AWS. Can you tell us about it? How do you study, and when do you advise us to consider it? Yeah, so the practitioner certification from AWS is amazing, especially if you're still in university. So if you're a student, it's really important to go into the topics that the certification itself offers, in my opinion. It covers a plethora of services. And now we're in the world where AI and cloud is everywhere, especially in the work that we do as computer scientists and the paths that we take. You go into networking, security, all of that stuff, but at a foundational level. And if you have like something more specific you'd like to know about, I'd love to answer. I studied it personally. I took a Udemy course with an instructor named Stefan Marek. During the Kahoot game, I'll drop the links to the course. He helped me a lot because he has slides and he has like every module like summarized in a way where it's very easy to grasp the concepts, and at the same time come to study. It's quite fast, Kanan. Regarding the certification, I actually took it with the NumMy skills. I'm not sure if you know about NumMy skills. They built a platform. It's a platform built by Forward Mena. So they're in Lebanon, based in Lebanon. And on the regular, they have like a period where you can actually study for the certification on their platform. Exactly, nummyskills.org. And have the opportunity to actually redeem a voucher that allows you to take the exam for free. So the exam is $100 initially, but if you take the voucher from Nami Skills, you're able to do it for free. So that's going to help you a lot as well. If you're a student, don't want to pay that amount of money, you can go ahead and take the course on there. It's going to help you a lot for sure. And I wish you the best of luck on your journey during studying, if you're going to take it. Yeah, and everyone else. Okay,
Awesome. Thank you, Amir. Thank you for the question.
so-
So I sent the game link in the chat. Please, guys, to join. And Reham, I think we do have rewards for this one, right?
Yes, it's a 1-year license from JetBrains for any IDE from your preference.
Oh, that's nice. I wanna win. Oh, no, I can't. I made the questions. Oh no, Amir, we did the questions. So yeah, go ahead and join, please, guys. And we're gonna get started in like 1 minute. Let's see.
I'll turn off my camera so that the Kahoot game display on here is bigger. So that we can
Yeah.
pin it.
Okay, I'll copy the game pen as well. I've sent it. It's 2444. Also share my screen. And I'll turn off my phone. Yeah, everyone ready? It's a very small game. It's only 12 questions. It's gonna be fast. Okay, all good. So we get started? No, let's go. All right, there we go. Which of the following is the primary goal of data pipeline? All right, who's in the lead? All right, wait. Next. Hanan, okay, cool. Cool. If a data pipeline has low CPU usage, it's definitely not under heavy load. False. Yeah. Who got this one? Hanan again. That's great. What does the term ETL stand for? This is related to data engineering, so think about it that way. Well, that's correct. Okay. What is the main purpose of a load balancer? Awesome. Next. What problem does caching primarily solves? Who's hello? Hello is in the lead. Scaling vertically always improves application performance. Hanan is back in the lead. A successful deployment guarantees that users will not experience them. Go next. Which database property ensures that the transaction is completed entirely or not at all? Atomicity. Okay, it's very close. A system can have 100% uptime and still be unusable. Is this true or false? That's true. Okay, Badia is now in the lead. What is containerization? Packaging an application with its dependencies. Awesome. Who's in the lead now? Asia. Nice. A database query can become faster after adding more data. Is this true or false?
answer might surprise you.
What's this foreshadowing? Oh, what? Is this true, Amir?
Yes. I'll talk about
Okay.
it after the keynote.
Okay. Last one, guys. Microservices are usually easier to debug than monoliths. All right, let's see. So hello is on number 3. Badia is second, and the first is Asya. Okay, awesome. That
Congrats.
was a good
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. It was amazing. Okay, now to claim the reward, have to contact Rihan. For that, Rihan, please provide the ways of contacting you so that they can be able to claim the rewards. Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Let me turn on this camera again. We can safely turn on the cameras back, Amir. Now we're done. Everything is like, if anyone has any further questions, please do share right now. We don't have time, but like we can stay here for like a few minutes to answer a few questions. And on the screen, you see Amir shared his screen so that you can connect to us on LinkedIn if you're interested. That's Amir, did you make sure that the QR codes are correct under the names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be.
So yeah, if you'd like to connect, so this is our LinkedIn right here. And Riham also sent the links on the chat as well. So that would be nice. Thank you, Riham. You can also follow GDG on social media so that you get notified every new event that we do. Riham also sent send the links in the chat. So thank you, Riham, again. And yeah, that's all. Anything else, guys? Anyone has any question? Anything to want to discuss? Or guess that's it. All right. It was a pleasure having you, Amir. Thank you so much. Also, thank you, Riham, for helping us out to prepare and for organizing all the events and stuff. Thank you all for joining. That's great to hear. That's amazing. That's great to hear. So thank you for joining. See you next month. We do this monthly, by the way. So every month we have a check-in. Sometimes we get people from different companies, big ones, international ones, so that they become co-hosts for the session. And basically we start asking them questions. So make sure to join in next month and every month, and tell your friends about it. They might learn a thing or two, and we always kind of have prizes for our Kahoot games. They can also benefit from that. And yeah, thank you everyone, and have a great, it's actually a great weekend and a great night. And we'll see you next month. Cheers.
Thank you all.
Thank you.